What's up guys, it's Will back again, and today's review is the Netflix film, The Fundamentals of Caring. This film actually hit the Netflix streaming service about 4 days ago on the 24th of June, and I honestly had never even heard of it. It showed up on the front page when I logged on to Netflix, and I was like, a Netflix original starring Paul Rudd. Sounds good to me, let's watch that. So if you haven't heard of this movie, maybe this review will bring it to your attention and you can find some enjoyment in it like I did. So with that said, let's get into it. Okay, so The Fundamentals of Caring is a drama written and directed by Rob Burnett that's based on the 2012 novel of the same name written by Jonathan Evison. The film premiered at the Sundance Film Festival in January of this year and was released by Netflix on June 24th. The basic plot of this film is that Ben, played by Paul Rudd, is a former author who's going through a tough time in his life right now and decides to become a caretaker. He's going through a divorce and a personal tragedy, and he decides he needs a new job, so he enrolls in a 6-week class and lands a job as a caretaker for a teenage boy named Trevor with muscular dystrophy. After Paul Rudd's character Ben serves as Trevor's caretaker for a couple weeks or so, they decide to head out on a road trip together to see some landmarks on Trevor's bucket list. They do this because Trevor has roughly 7 to 10 years left to live, and Paul Rudd's character Ben thinks that Trevor needs to get out more. The two pick up Selena Gomez along the way, a hitchhiker heading to Denver, and the three form a connection with each other while learning some interesting things about themselves. Okay, so the runtime for this movie is just over 90 minutes, and you're probably wanting to know, is this movie worth a watch? I'm gonna say yes, I think it is. Is it the next great indie feel or style film? No. Is it great? I don't think so, but it's entertaining and fairly solid overall. The story is actually pretty interesting, and it feels a lot like Little Miss Sunshine if you remember that movie back from 2006. I'm not saying it's exactly the same because this movie doesn't have as many or as good of characters, but the feel and the style and the overall story are somewhat similar. So for most of the movie you have the duo of Paul Rudd and Craig Roberts, and they have their funny moments, but I didn't really find myself laughing too often. This movie, while funny every now and then, is more so about the story. Although they do sprinkle a significant amount of comedy throughout, because when you have Paul Rudd, who's mostly known for his work as a comedian, you want to take advantage of his skill set and implement some comedy. He does okay in this one as a comedian, but his character is just not really all that funny because of what he's had to go through. I won't tell you specifically what he's had to deal with, but all I can say is that it's some personal tragedy that has definitely changed him as a person. He's also going through a divorce in combination with this, and this drives him to give up writing and obviously pick up a job as a caretaker. So just go into this expecting better quality of drama than better quality of comedy. Paul Rudd's acting in this one is some of his best work, and I really think that it's good for these comedy-first actors to do roles like this every now and then because it shows off their versatility. In Ant-Man you see some of this, but Marvel movies besides Civil War really don't have too many dark tones present in them. But in this movie, dark tones linger in Paul Rudd's character throughout the entire movie. Like I said, he's dealing with a ton of different things, and he's trying to get this young teenage boy out of his shell and into the real world. I will say though that this road trip is just as much about Ben as it is about Trevor. So Trevor needs this road trip to see these sights he's wanted to see for a long time because he's been going through the same monotonous routine for years on end now that involves him never leaving the house and doing the same things at the same time every day. Well, just like Ben, Trevor has had to deal with his own family problems as well, and this has sort of jaded him too. He feels cursed with his muscular dystrophy, and he's never really gotten to experience the outside world because he and his mother are both scared, and his mother is mostly just trying to protect him. Trevor is really well acted by Craig Roberts though, and he does a really good job of making you empathize with his character. I'm not going to say that I loved his character the entire time because his personality can definitely be a little overwhelming at times, but you may love him completely, who knows. There were some moments I really liked his character and some moments where I felt that his personality and brand of humor were a little too much. He and Paul Rudd have a lot of chemistry on screen together and play off one another quite nicely as a whole though. Okay, the other supporting character in this one is a hitchhiker by the name of Dot. Dot, played by Selena Gomez, also has some family drama going on and hitches a ride with Ben and Trevor and ultimately connects with them on several levels. They're sort of like a band of broken people, and they hit it off really quickly because they're similar in some ways and they're going through similar things. Selena Gomez is really good in this movie though, and she really surprised me, to be honest. I've never seen her in any movies besides her brief part in Neighbors 2, but in this one she showed that she can definitely act at a high level. Like Trevor, there's definitely some times where her character is just a little bit too much in her demeanor, but for the most part she was pretty interesting and layered as as a character. One other thing I want to mention is that the ending is a little corny to me. Ben and Trevor accomplish this feat, and the music plays and builds, and it just feels kind of odd and not really like something that fit for such a big point in this film. You may be overwhelmed to tears by it though. Everyone's different, that's just my take. So is this movie going to be nominated for Best Picture? Probably not, because I don't think it's on that level, comedy or drama wise. But overall, I thought it had a nice feel-good story, really good acting with layered characters, darker tones that add depth to the story, and some decent humor. I also thought the characters could be a little too much at times, the humor felt overdone in some moments, and the ending was kind of corny to me. I'm going to give this movie a 7 out of 10 and say that it's worth a watch if you're into indie style films. So did you guys see The Fundamentals of Caring yet? What did you think of it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if not, let me know whether this is your kind of movie or not. And as always, if you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for future content like this. That's all for now. This is WillFoxification signing off. See you in the next review.